Welcome! In this session, we will explore the powerful role education plays in shaping a sustainable future. Let's take a moment to think about why education truly matters when it comes to solving environmental problems. It's not just about teaching facts, it's about transforming mindsets and behaviors. First, inform. Education helps us understand the reality of climate change, pollution, biodiversity loss, and other critical challenges. When people are informed, they begin to care, and when they care, they start asking important questions. Next, enable. Knowledge alone isn't enough. Education should empower people to act, to reduce waste, conserve energy, speak up in their communities. It gives them the skills and confidence to be part of the solution. And finally, inspire. Education should spark passion. It should help students and teachers alike see that they are part of something bigger, a movement toward a healthier planet. When people are inspired, they pass that inspiration on to others. So, in short, we inform, we enable, and we inspire. That's how education becomes a tool for real and lasting change. Objectives of environmental education. When we talk about environmental education, we are not just talking about adding new facts to a textbook. We are talking about a deeper kind of learning. First, we want to raise awareness. Many students may not realize how their everyday choices impact the environment. Awareness is the first step toward change. Second, we aim to encourage responsible behavior. It's not enough to know. We want learners to feel empowered to act, recycle, save energy, protect nature, and speak up. And third, we want to foster critical thinking and problem solving. Our students are future decision makers. Can they analyze an issue? Can they find innovative, sustainable solutions? This is what we must build in them. And remember, environmental education should be interactive. It should invite students to discuss, experiment, create, to engage with the world, not just read about it. So don't be afraid to take the learning outside the classroom, into gardens, parks, communities, anywhere where nature can teach. Which of these objectives do you already implement in your teaching? Raise awareness of environmental issues, encourage responsible behavior, foster problem solving and critical thinking. Let's pause and reflect on the true impact of education. Yes, we teach facts, but more importantly, we model values. When a student sees their teacher bringing a reusable water bottle, turning off lights, or picking up trash during break, that's powerful. That moment says more than a lecture ever could. Being a role model doesn't mean being perfect. It means showing effort, living your values, and inspiring action through your everyday behavior. Maybe it's organizing a classroom cleanup, or using old boxes and paper for crafts instead of buying new ones, or even inviting your students to help decide how your school can reduce waste. Small acts become habits. Habits build culture, and culture shapes generations. Let's remember, our students don't just listen with their ears, they watch with their eyes. Empowering students means trusting them with responsibility. and giving them real opportunities to contribute. When we move away from the model of adults instruct, students follow, and instead say, what do you think we should do about plastic waste at school? How would you raise awareness about energy saving? That's where the magic happens. Students have creativity, drive, and powerful perspectives. When they are given a platform, whether it's organization, an eco fair, creating a campaign, or leading a discussion, they take ownership and grow in confidence. Some may choose to express through art or design. Others may prefer to lead or present. And what's amazing is they often come up with fresh solutions that we as adults may never think of. Let's shift the mindset from students as passive learners to students as environmental change makers. Give them voice, give them space, and support them. Because whole school approach from learning to action. A powerful way to make environmental education meaningful is through a whole school approach. Let's break this in two key parts. First, we integrate sustainability into everything we do at school, into curriculum by discussing environmental topics in science, geography, even in art and literature, into daily routines, turning off lights, reducing paper use, sorting waste, into school events like organizing Earth Day, Eco Weeks, or green fairs. This build habits not just for students, but for the entire school culture. Second, we must see the school as a hub for change. We don't want our efforts to stop at the classroom door. Let's take learning outward, into the community. Can we start a neighborhood cleanup? Can we involve parents in green actions? Can our students educate others? The answer is yes, if we plan with purpose. So, by combining education plus action plus community, we can turn schools into true engines of sustainability. Today, we're not just going to talk about facts or statistics. We are going to talk about transformation, about the impact each of us can have as educators. Because education isn't just about passing on information. The role of education in addressing environmental problems. Make learning active. It's about inspiring values, shaping mindsets, and building a generation that cares deeply for the planet. Think about this. Every student we teach is a future decision maker. They might one day vote, design policies, run companies, or simply recycle, plant trees, and inspire others. And you, as teachers and mentors, are key in shaping those choices. So let's begin this journey together to understand, reflect, and take action. Let's learn not only how to teach about the environment, but how to do it in a way that sparks real change. Let students lead real projects, real learning, real impact. Let's step beyond teaching about environment and instead teach through action. These projects don't require expensive resources. They don't need special permissions or approvals. They only require our support and trust. When we give students a real challenge, we show them that their voices matters. When they create something that remains in the school space, it becomes theirs. And when they take the lead, they learn responsibility, teamwork, and the joy of success. On the screen, you can see three examples of power student-led ideas. Energy-saving campaigns that promote awareness across the school. Garden projects that bring biology and responsibility to life. Recycled art workshop where creativity meets sustainability. Each image shows what's possible with simple tools, a little time, and a lot of imagination. And remember, these activities don't have to last a whole week. One purposeful hour is enough, and you've already become a guide to the future. Let's end this session with a strong and simple call to action. Look at the message on the screen. One world, one future, one step. First, one world. Environmental problems don't recognize borders. Climate change, pollution, biodiversity loss, they affect us all, no matter where we live. Second, one future. This future isn't far away. We are shaping it today, together with every choice we make. And third, one step. We don't have to do everything at once. It's enough to start with one step, one small initiative, one change in your classroom with your students. And here's the key points below. Let's be inspired by best practices and act locally with a global vision. The future of our planet depends on us. So don't wait. Every small action becomes big when done with heart and together. Let me know if you'd like this slide animated or built into a full presentation style. Digital tools for green learning. Let's teach sustainability in the language today's students understand and through technology. Today's students live in a digital world, so why not harness that energy and curiosity in favor of the environment? Take a look at these tools, each one offers a concrete action. Tracking, researching, analyzing, and sharing eco information. And teachers, you can interact these tools into everyday lessons, and it doesn't have to be complicated. Even a simple PowerPoint with a built-in quiz or map-based debate can transform student motivation. The key is meet students where they are, online, and from there guide them towards real change. Which of these tools would you use first? How would you connect to your teaching topics? Collaboration is key. Engage the community. Teachers, remember, you are not alone in this journey. Environmental education thrives when it extends beyond the classroom walls. Imagine organizing a tree planting day, not just with your students, but in collaboration with local NGOs and families. This shared action builds a sense of community ownership and shows students that environmental responsibility is a shared value at home and in school. You don't need big budgets to create big impact. Start by reacting our local environmental groups. They often love working with schools and can offer expertise, materials, or even guest speakers. Parents, too, can be powerful allies. Whether it's joining eco days, donating recyclables for creative art projects, or simply helping promote green habits at home, their environment multiplies your message. Consider digital collaborations too. Platforms like eTwinning, PenPal Schools, or even simple video calls can connect your classroom to a global network of learners. Let Students exchange eco-ideas with peers and other countries. This builds empathy, global thinking, and intellectual skills. Even something as simple as a weekend family nature challenge or a cleanup walk can grow into a campaign when done together. Partnership transforms small movements into powerful, lasting experiences. When we collaborate, we amplify voices, and when those voices are united, especially young ones, they can move communities. Let's build the movement together. Overcoming challenges. Let's be realistic. Yes, we fully understand. It's not always easy. You may be sitting there thinking, I don't have enough time. We don't have funding. I'm already doing too much. And that's completely valid. These are real challenges faced by teachers everywhere. But here's the key. You don't need to start big. This course is about starting small but starting smart. Think about it. A single corner in your classroom labeled "Recycling Station" can spark curiosity. One 10-minute discussions about air quality outside your window can raise awareness. Even a quick Kahoot quiz or visual prompt can engage students in ways that textbooks can't. Big impact doesn't require a big budget. It requires consistency and purpose. The most powerful transformations come from simple actions repeated with intention. When students see those actions, they start to model them. When colleagues hear about your success, they may feel inspired to try too. That's why we encourage you to celebrate small wins. Mention them in your school WhatsApp group, share photos in the hallway, or simply say, "This worked today," in the staff room. What you are doing might be the exact spark someone else needs. And finally, let go of perfection. Don't wait for the ideal time, the perfect setup, or full support. Progress, not perfection, is the goal. One small step in right direction is still a step forward. Reflection. Your turn to reflect. Let's pause for a moment. We've explored a lot in this session, from student-led projects to digital tools, community collaboration to creative classroom ideas. Some of those ideas might feel inspiring, others may be overwhelming, and that's okay. But here's the real question. What can you do this week to bring environmental learning to life in your classroom? You don't need a full curriculum overhaul. You don't need a grant or special event. Sometimes one powerful question is enough to spark a shift. What's the air quality like in our town today? Why do we use so much plastic at school? Can we grow something in the classroom? Start small. Add a 5-minute eco discussion to your science lesson. Let students run a recycling corner. Watch one short video and let students react, because reflection is where intention becomes action, and every action counts. So, what will your action be? Call to action. Let's educate for a greener tomorrow. Thank you for being part of this journey. Today, you didn't just attend a training, you became part of a growing global movement for sustainability and education. As education, we carry a responsibility that reaches beyond the classroom walls. We don't only teach facts, we shape habits. We don't just assign homework, we inspire hope. We don't simply deliver content, we build character, curiosity, and courage. Let's walk toward from this course not just with ideas, but with a shared commitment to educate with purpose, to inspire with passion, and to act with impact. Because you, the teacher, are the vital bridge between knowledge and action. Your words can shift perspectives, your lessons can shape futures, and your classroom can become the place where a greener, fairer, more sustainable world begins. Let's not just imagine change, let's lead it together. Engage the community. As we wrap up this session, remember, no teacher is alone in this mission. The classroom may be our starting point, but real impact grows when we step outside its walls. Partnering with local NGOs brings in expertise and real-world context. Involving parents helps reinforce green habits at home, and connecting with Global School remind us this is a shared journey across continents. Community isn't just a word, it's our greatest asset. Because when we engage together, we create change that is not only educational, but transformational. Let's build bridges, let's open doors, and let's create a future where every child feels empowered to protect the world they call home.